All right. Okay, here is our plan for today. So to be honest, I thought I wasn't gonna see y'all today. But we were gonna do work on Friday, but then it's like, ooh, let's do it today. Yeah. And then on Friday, pep rally, you're not gonna want to do notes that day. So we're just gonna knock them out. Okay?
Okay, I'm ready.
Now, the good news is, okay, that technically, okay, you're not necessarily learning anything brand new today. We're just going to be doing derivatives with tables. So we'll do a couple warm-ups, and then we're going to go to your table questions, okay? Which is predominantly what your homework is covering is the tables, okay? So let's do number 2. Number 2.
Okay. Okay. Shut up.
Okay, it's okay. Number 2 is an advanced derivative because it requires a rewrite. What rewrite would I need to use on number 2 for a 4th power on the bottom?
-4.
A -4, very good. So put RW. The 3 stays in the front. Your 2x minus 7 is to the -4 power, okay? Then your rule would be chain rule. We learned this last time. That remember, you're going to take the derivative of the outside layer, which is the power. So what is -4 times 3? Okay, label it y prime because this is a derivative. -4 times 3 is a -12. Remember, the core stays the same. And then what's the new power? If I take away 1, -5. Very good. Times. Okay, then remember what we learned for chain rule is that you have to go to the inside and take the derivative of that. So if it's a 2x minus 7, what's the derivative of that?
2.
Times 2. And then you would take the 2 and the -12, multiply those together. So your final answer would be a -24 over. And then your 2x minus 7 is to the 5th on bottom. Okay, we got that?
Yeah.
All right, let's go down to number 4. Okay, we'll do the right side. Okay, I have an outside layer of what?
Sine.
For number 4.
Cosine.
Cosine, what's the derivative of cosine? What kind of sign? Negative sign. Remember, the core stays the same. But then we have to multiply by the derivative of the core at the back. What's the derivative of that core?
It's going to be 6x. No, 12x plus 5.
Very good. Okay, if you type it in like this for that homework, it's going to count it wrong because why? Parentheses. It's not just the 12x being multiplied. It's the 12x and the plus 5. Okay, then you could rearrange that if you want to be a -12x plus 5. And then the sign part. Okay, but remember, your homework will not require it. That's just kind of AP preference, is that trig would go at the back. Okay? All right, we're going to do one more off the front. Let's do number 6. What would my rewrite be for number 6?
30.
Okay, 30.
Is it 4x squared?
Uh-huh.
And then negative?
Yes.
1/2? Well, 1/3?
1/3. Very good. Remember that a cubic root is a 3rd power. Okay, and it's negative because it's coming up from the bottom. Okay, then remember, this is just a regular power rule. Okay, but we're going to have to chain rule in the middle. So my -1/3 times 30 is what? 10. So y prime equals. Okay, then I need to take away 1 as a compatible fraction. So if I have -1/3, what do I need to take away?
-3/3.
3/3, because it has to be a compatible fraction of 1. And -1/3 minus 3/3 becomes
-4/3.
-4/3. Very good. Then I go to the middle layer and I multiply that derivative at the back, which would be a what? 8x plus 9. Very good. Okay, then from there, when you reorganize your answer, remember negative exponents need to sink back down into the denominator. So that would be a negative 10 on top. What else will go on top? Good. And then on bottom, my 4x squared plus 9x is in what type of root?
It's a cubic.
A cubic root, and then it has what power on it?
Four.
The fourth. Very good. Okay, and then remember, if you don't want to group this with parentheses, you need to put the 4 on the outside. So it applies to everything in the cubic root. Okay, do you remember this? Going good? All right, turn the page. All right, last one we'll do is, let's do 7. Okay, let's go through your layers. Okay, number 7, the outside layer is what function?
Sine.
Sine.
That's the most out.
That's the outside most. Okay, then the next layer is what?
Then the 5.
5 power. Very good. And then inside the 5 is the 2x squared plus 1, yeah? So it goes yellow, then green, then pink. Yellow first. Sine goes to what? Cosine. And then remember that that middle stuff does not change. So the 2x squared plus 1 to the 5th, that stays exactly the same because I'm not on that layer. I'm on the yellow layer. So sine went to cosine. Now I'm going into the green layer, which is a 5th power. How do I take the derivative of a 5th power?
Subtract 1.
I will subtract 1 after I bring the 5 down to the front, yeah?
Okay.
So my 5 goes to the front, pink layer stays the same, but now it's a 4th power. And then I go to the pink layer. What's the derivative of pink? 4x, very good. Okay, then remember the only rewrite that you would really need to do there is the 5 and the 4x, you can times those. So 5 times 4x would give us a what? Very good. So it'd be cosine 2x squared plus 1 to the 5th. And then a 20x 2x squared plus 1 to the 4th. Okay. Now, if you wanted to put the trig at the back, I don't want to rewrite it, but usually they put the trig at the back. Okay, you kind of get the idea? We remember this from last time? Okay, so for your homework today, you're going to see chain rule, product rule, and quotient rule. So the point of these notes is to make sure that you understand which one is which. We don't have to do every example. We just have to do enough that you get the idea. So for number 9, we want to take the derivative of f times g. What rule is going to be required for me to take the derivative of f times g? Let me give you your choices.
Product.
It's product rule, quotient rule, or chain.
Product.
It's going to be product rule. Now, for your homework, some of them are only asking you to take the derivative. This one's asking you to write the equation, the tangent line. What 2 ingredients do you need for a tangent line? Okay, very good. So write down point and slope. And remember that for the point, you're plugging into the original. You're not taking the derivative yet. So I want to plug in -1 for my x. But then I'm going to find f and g, and I'm going to multiply them together. So if this is my equation, f times g, then I'll do f of -1 times g of -1. And then this is where you'll use your chart. So f would be the y, correct? So I'd go to -1 here. What is my f value? 4. What's my g value? 4 times 2 is 8. So I have my ordered pair. Then for my slope, I'm going to have to take the derivative, and this is where your rules come in. What rule did we say we're going to need here? Product rule. So let's draw your setup. So my u is an f of x. My v is a g of x. And then do you remember that after you find your u and your v, you take their derivatives? Yeah, that's how we do product rule. So if u is f, what's the derivative of f called? F prime. Very good. And then if my v is just regular g, then the derivative would go to g prime. And then remember, you're going to do diagonal plus diagonal for the derivative. Doesn't matter which one you write first. Okay, but the slope is going to be this plus this. Now, if you want to go ahead and plug in your -1 right now, you can. I'm going to. So it's going to be fg prime.
Fg prime.
Plus, and then f prime g.
I thought that one was, just normal.
Yeah, and remember, it doesn't matter which diagonal you write first. As long as they both make it there, that's fine. Okay, then I'm just going to pull those numbers out the chart. So what is regular f at -1?
4.
4. What is g prime at -1?
2.
2.
You're looking for where x is -1?
Okay. And then you're finding the values for f, g, f prime, g prime. Okay. So the next thing I want is f prime. What number? 7. And then the last one is a regular g, which is a
times 2.
So 4 times 2 is 8.
Plus 14.
Plus 14 gives me what final slope? 22. So then your equation, what you would type in for your homework, is y blank equals blank x blank. Remember, the x and the y go in as opposites. The slope goes into the middle as it is. So 22 goes here. +1 on my x, -8 on my y. Okay? All right, let's do the next one. Okay, I want an equation of a tangent line. That means I need a point and a slope. For the point, remember you're plugging into the original. What is my x for letter B? 0. So it's 0, something. Then I'm going to take my 0 and I'm going to plug it into my equation. Notice that this time it's g of sine x. So it'd be g of sine 0. Okay, now remember, when you plug into compositions of functions, you start at the middle. So what is the sine of 0 in the middle? 0 would be your pinky, and then you're trying to count down. So it'd be 0 again. Then I want g of 0, and that's where my chart comes in. What is the value of g when x is 0? 9. So you have your ordered pair, 0, 9. Then to take the derivative, you have to pick a rule. Okay, so now look at the setup. It's g of sine x. Is it product rule, quotient rule, or chain rule if this is your function? Okay. Chain rule, because it's outside, inside, yeah? So let's do chain rule on this one.
Wait, you got 9 because you did...
I looked up g of 0 in the chart. So at 0, my g is a 9. And make sure you're under regular g, not g prime. Okay, and then for this one, I'm going to put PR for product rule.
The sine 0 is 0?
That's right. Okay, so for chain rule, what's the outside layer?
G prime.
Okay, good, G. And then what's my next layer inside that? Sine. And then my middle layer is just an X, yeah?
Yeah.
So what's the derivative of yellow first? We're doing G. G goes to?
G prime. G
prime sine X stays the same. But then I have to multiply by the derivative of sine X, which is what? What's the derivative of sine X?
Cosine or cosine?
Regular cosine X. Now, if I go in one more layer to the X, what's the derivative of just X?
It's just 1.
Times 1. So if you want to put it, you can. Okay, but really, if it's just the x, then that layer doesn't really matter. All right, from there, we're going to plug in our number. We're plugging in a 0. So I want g prime of sine 0 times cosine 0 times 1. What did we say, though, that sine of 0 is in the middle? 0, and then g prime of 0 comes from where? From the chart.
Okay, g prime of 0, 8.
It is 8. What's the cosine of 0? 1, and then 8 times 1 times 1 is 8.
Sine 0 is 1 versus 0.
Sine of 0 is 0, and then I went to g prime of 0. Cosine of 0 is 1.
And then you did another times 1 just at the end.
Because of the x, yeah.
No.
Huh? Yeah, we found g prime of 0 is 8. Cosine of 0, we just did hand trick on. It's your pinky, all your fingers are up. So correct. Well, you do, but 1 times 8 is still 8. You know what I mean? All right, from there, we're plugging in our numbers. My x was a 0, my y was a 9, and then my slope was an 8. Get the idea? All right, let's do one more like that. Take a look at letter C. Writing the equation of a tangent line. What 2 things do I need for an equation of a tangent line? Okay, a point and a slope. Now notice they're giving me my point. It's a 2. So 2 comma something. And then I'm going to plug my 2 into where the x is. Now, be careful on this one. When you plug your 2 in for x, what's going to happen to the 2x in the middle when the x is now at 2? What is that going to go to? 2 times 2 makes it a 4. Yeah? Because you're putting the 2 in where the x is, but it already had a 2 next to it. So that's going to multiply to 4. Okay, then when I find f of 4, I'm going to cube it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go through it one more time. So this is my f of x. Oh my gosh, y'all, I promise. My niece painted my nails. I didn't do this myself, okay? And look, I had a Band-Aid on my thumb, so this one's not. I'll take it off before next time. Okay, very embarrassing looking at my hands. This 2 is going here. What's 2 times 2?
4.
Then I'm going to plug it into f. Then I'm going to cube it. That's the order. So what is f of 4? You're pulling this from the chart.
F of 4 is...
-2 is correct. And then once I find -2,
you going to cube it?
I'm going to cube it, which is going to give me what y value? -8. Now remember, why am I plugging into the middle? Because that's, or to the original, because that's my point. Now I'm going to take the derivative. I have to pick a rule. Do I want product rule, quotient rule, or chain rule? Quotient rule means division. Is there division? No, then this is chain rule. Very good. And remember, the reason you know it's chain is because there's an outside function and an inside function. What is the outside function? The 3. And then inside the cubed power is what next? The f. And then inside the f is a what? 2x. So this has 3 layers. Let's go one at a time.
So F first.
No, not f first. What's the outside layer? The 3. So my 3 comes down. What is the new power on f of 2x? Now it's squared. So my 3 comes down. My core stays the same, but now it's squared. Okay, the next layer is green. What's the derivative of f?
F prime.
F prime, 2x stays the same. Then I go in one more layer. What's the derivative of 2x?
Just 2?
Times 2. Very good.
Okay.
Okay, then from there, rather than trying to like simplify it, I'm just going to plug my number in. What's my x that I want to plug in?
2.
A 2. What is this middle number going to be when I put a 2 in for x?
4.
So it's going to be 3 times f of 4, which I'll pull from the table squared, times f prime of 4 times 2. Okay, but notice if my x goes in as a 2, then my 2 x's come out to be 4s. And then we're pulling numbers.
Okay.
What is regular f of 4 if I pull it from the chart?
It's -2.
Okay, and what is -2 if I square it? Say it again. 4, very good. So I have a 3 times a 4. Okay, now let's find f prime of 4.
3.
F prime of 4 is 3. And then times the 2 from the cheat. And then you're just literally going to times those out. So let's make this easy on ourselves. What's 3 times 3? 3 times 3?
9.
2 times 4 is 8. What's a 9 times 8? 72. You're close. The -2 came from the chart. It was the f of 4 answer. Okay. And then where did the 3 come from? The 3 was the f prime answer. So once you get down to f of 4 and f prime of 4, those have to come out of the chart for you to know those numbers. Okay? All right, turn the page. Can you tell me on the last one, which of these would be quotient rule? Because that's the only rule we haven't done yet.
B.
B, let's do B.
Okay.
Okay, letter B. We want equation of a tangent line. We need a point and a slope.
Okay.
Okay, notice you have a nice chart there at the top. What's my x value for my point?
2.
So 2 comma something. Then remember, for me to find the point, I plug into the original.
Okay.
So it's going to be 2x plus 1 over f of x. So it's going to be 2 times 2 plus 1 over f of 2. Huh? What's 2 times 2 plus 1 on top?
5.
And then what's f of 2 on bottom? You'll have to use the chart.
3.
Regular f of 2 is 3. So my y value is 5/3.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, are we good with reading those charts so far?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the derivative. Derivative needs quotient rule. Okay, so I'm going to use this space up here at the top. So I'm going to have a high and a ho. Okay, remember high is the top, ho is the bottom. So the top is a 2x plus 1. The ho is an f of x. Then remember, I take the derivative. I'm going to call it d high and d ho. What is the derivative of the top or the d high? Just a 2. Okay, then d ho is the derivative of the bottom. If the bottom is a regular f, what does the derivative go to? F prime. And then remember, for quotient rule, it does matter the order. You have to go, you don't have to write this if you don't want to, but ho d high minus high d ho, because remember the ho's have to go in the corners. And then ho squared on bottom. Okay, that's for your quotient rule. All right, so let's do it. Ho d high would be f of x times 2 minus, then high d ho would be 2x plus 1 times f prime of x. And then over regular ho squared would be f of x squared.
Wait, what is the top? It's, hold on. 2 times f of x
2 times f of x, that's this diagonal.
minus high d ho.
And then from there, we're going to plug in our x, which is what number? 2. So let's pull the numbers out of the table as we go. Can you tell me what f of 2 is going to be? Regular f of 2, 3. And 3 times 2 is going to be, make sure you're multiplying, 6. Okay, next term, we're plugging in a 2 right here. So what's 2 times 2 plus 1?
5.
5. And then I want f prime of 2. I'm pulling that from the chart.
5.
F
Times
prime
5.
is 5, yep. So I want 6 minus 25 across the top. What is 6 take away 25?
-19.
Uh-huh. And then on the bottom, don't forget ho squared. We're looking up regular f at our x value, which is a 2. And regular f was what at 2?
It's
3.
So 3 squared?
Would be a 9. So your slope is negative 19 over 9. And then you would just write the equation of your tangent line from there. So y blank equals blank x blank. Negative 19 over 9 goes in the slope. My x was a 2, so I'll put a -2. My y was a 5/3, we'll put a minus. Get the idea?
Yep.
Okay. For the last one, I'm not going to write the whole equation. We're just going to take the derivative. What rule is needed for letter C?
Chain? Oh, product.
Product rule. Very good, because I have two things that are multiplied together, right? So for this one, my u is a sine x. My v is an f of 3x. When I take the derivative of sine x, what am I going to get?
You're going to get cosine?
Cosine x. When I take the derivative of f of 3x, what rule am I going to need? Chain rule, because it's not just f of x, it's f of 3x. Okay. So I have layers. So let's do the outside layer first. What does f go to?
F prime.
And the 3x stays the same, but then I have to times by what for the derivative of the middle? 3. So technically, it's a product rule question, but you do a little baby chain here because it's not just f, it's f of 3x. Okay, from there, let's write our derivative. Y prime equals diagonal plus diagonal. I'm going to write this one first just because it looks simpler. Okay, and then remember, when you plug in your 0, bless you, okay, sine and cosine, you can hand trig those, but f and f prime, you'll have to pull from the chart. So let's start with cosine 0. What's the cosine of 0?
1.
1. What's the sine of 0?
0.
Good. Now, if this piece is 0, and I'm going to multiply it by these guys, what's going to happen? That whole back piece is going to cross out. Okay. So then the only thing I have to pull from the chart is f of 3x, but if my x is a 0, then it's f of 0, because 0 times 3 keeps that a 0. What is regular f of 0?
3. Then
1 times 3, your final answer would be 3. Now, that would be the slope only, okay, but I'm not writing the whole equation of the tangent line just to shorten it, okay? All right, for letter A, is it product, quotient, or chain? We're not going to do it, but can you just tell me?
Chain.
Chain, and which part needs chain? Not the whole thing. Just the G2x.
You only put the minus.
So when you take the derivative of that, f would just go to f prime. Oh, you can't see that. And then G would go to G prime of 2x times 2. So if you want to write that one down, you wouldn't need product rule or quotient rule, and you would only need chain on the part where G has more than just an x in it. Okay, and then from there, you'd pull whatever crap you need from the chart.
Okay. Oh, it's
okay?
times 2?
Because of chain rule.
So
this
you keep that minus.
You would keep, and then when you find this and this, yeah, you subtract. Okay? All right, I don't know how much time we have left. I'll put the schedule up there. 7 minutes. So maybe just do your homework another. You can do it if you want, but you don't have that long.
I don't have
and you have no new assignment for Friday. It'll just be like a work day.
I learned. Yeah.